The euro and pound are testing critical levels today that could produce some massive opportunities in August. So I will have all the details in today's video, also the latest on the DXY. So my name is Justin Bennett, full-time trader and founder of Daily Price Action. All of this is my opinion only and not financial advice. So looking here at the DXY on the daily time frame. So over the weekend, what I talked about there was how 100.1 was critical for the DXY. And the reason for that is if you look here and we move out, looking at 2025, what you'll notice is that we have these highs back here. Okay, so high here, this high, and this one right here, right before the breakout. Then we have these lows. Now it does look like July closed below here. However, here is the thing I'm going to tell you, and this applies to every single month, especially months that are also quarterly closes, is the last 1 to 2 days of a month, you've got to be really careful because what tends to happen is you get institutions closing out their books. And what that creates is what I call administrative driven moves, meaning that these moves that we saw here at the end of July, okay, this candle here and this one could very well just be institutions, again, closing out their books for the month of July, not necessarily conviction driven moves. Okay, so with that in mind, this close at the end of July, again, this was July 30th, July 31st, this was the very end of July. You've got to be really careful here now, just assuming that the DXY is bearish because structurally, guys, this is still a bullish market. Okay, we know that because what we've seen here is we had the BOS back here that we've talked about. We've had the change of character. We've had a BOS since then. This right here, higher highs and higher lows. The market right now is structurally bullish, okay? There's really nothing about this that's bearish. The only thing is the fact that we did close below here. But again, that was the very end of July, so you've got to be really careful here. So for me, this gets really simple. If we see the DXY start to close the day, okay, several days above here, even the week above here, then that starts to look more bullish for the dollar and a possible bottom within this uptrend, okay? Now, if we don't, and we start to break below levels like this down here, like I talked about over the weekend, then of course that puts the market now below this channel that it's been in all year, okay? And that starts to look a little bit more bearish, at least short-term for the US dollar. But right now, again, structurally, the DXY is bullish. And really, I see nothing here in terms of structure to get bearish on this market, okay? It's just a matter of getting back above that level right around 100.1 this week. That is going to be key for the DXY, so we'll see if it can do that. Okay, so let's move along here to the euro. Now, if you guys want to use the broker that I trust, then check out the link below this video. That's going to be a link for IC Markets, and with my link, they are going to give you a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000 plus 50% deposit bonuses up to $25,000 beyond that. So they're going to give you a total of $26,000 in bonus money to trade with. It's an absolute no-brainer. And also, if you deposit $10,000 or more into your account, I will grant you lifetime access to our Discord group, which also includes that full SMC course as well. So check out that link below this video or in the description of this video. So looking here at the euro, right? This has been the channel very much like the DXY that the euro has traded within all year, okay? So really, really nice channel, even though we have seen a lot of choppy price action this year with everything going on with Iran and Trump for that matter. This market has been trading really nicely within this channel. And you can see here, once again, another retest of this. Now, just like I mentioned with the DXY, you've got to be careful here because looking at this channel, this smaller channel, okay, we have highs up here, we have these two highs, and we have these two lows. Now on the surface, you look at this and you say, well, we broke out, right? This is a bullish breakout. Well, not so fast because we have the top of that much larger channel coming in here. Plus, like I said, the last 1 to 2 days of a month, you've got to be really careful. Okay, July 30th, July 31st. Okay, so this right here, in my opinion, is lacking conviction so far. Okay, I am not convinced that this right here is a breakout. And furthermore, looking at this chart, I can clearly see that the market is below resistance. Now, on top of that, let's talk SMC, because on top of that, what you'll notice here is that we have a downtrend, okay? Clearly lower highs and lower lows. Now, this candle right back here was an inefficiency, okay? It was an unmitigated inefficiency because what you'll notice is that we had this high here, and then internally we had a BOS. Now, this was an inefficiency that right now, guess what? The euro has come back here and mitigated. So the way I'm viewing this right now is that structurally speaking, all we have is the euro tapping into this inefficiency back here. Plus, if we draw our fibs, what you'll notice is that the area between the 62 and 79%, this is OTE, optimal trade entry. All we've done here is come up here and tapped into OTE. We've also mitigated this area. Okay, so structurally, guys, there is nothing here bullish in my opinion. Okay, so that leaves me looking for shorts. Now, how exactly do I get into this market? All right, let's talk about that here for a second. And before we do, if you want to see exactly how I trade SMC full time, check out the link right here below this video. That's going to be a free SMC strategy. It's the same one I use every single week. So click on that link, enter your name and email address, get completely free access. Beyond that, if you do want to join us in Discord for my help with your trading, seeing my trades live, exclusive trade setups, all of that good stuff, then you will have the opportunity to do that beyond that link when you sign up, okay? Now, looking here at the daily, what I think this is going to come down to is you can see the top of this channel, we have this area now serving as support. You can see on Friday, it did hold as support. But again, this was the very last day of the month, right? Not a lot of conviction there in those last 1 to 2 days. So for me, what this is going to come down to is two things. Daily time frame, looking at 114.95. This is going to be the top of this channel. If we close the day back below here, then that could be enough to flip this area back to resistance and get the push down here toward the lows, okay? Very, very simple. Now, additionally, if we take a look here at the 15-minute time frame and talk more of an SMC approach, right, in terms of structure, what you'll notice is that on the 15-minute chart, very clearly, we've had higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so we've had a BOS back here making this the external low. Now, this comes in right around 114.55. So if the euro, okay, over the coming hours closes a 15-minute candle below here, then we have a change of character. And now I want to be clear. I've talked about this a lot. I've made videos on all of this before, but this right here, if we do get a close below, this is not where I'm shorting. I'm not going to short this low. I want to see a lower high develop to get a better risk reward. Okay. So I would be looking for the market to give me a change of character below here, push up into any inefficiencies that form on the way down, and then get that lower high. Okay. That's what I'd be looking for if we get this. Still a big if, we don't have this confirmed just yet. Okay. Because right now this uptrend is technically still intact. So obviously this is, I'm speculating here, but that would be my plan if we do take out this low right around 114.55. Now, alternatively, the invalidation for this would be if the euro starts to push above this channel. If we get the euro closing above this channel up here and the DXY breaking below its channel, then yeah, I think short term that starts to look more bullish toward highs like this. Okay. But right now, there's nothing here to make me bullish on the euro. Okay. So that's how I'm viewing this right now on the Euro USD. So let's flip over now and take a look here at the pound. Now, I don't favor this one as much as the euro. I've mentioned that a few times, only because this market has just been really, really choppy for months and really even over a year now. Now, in terms of key levels, though, what you'll notice is that the pound is testing a key level of its own. We have this trend line off the highs up here all year long, very similar to the euro testing the top of that channel. So right now we do have the potential for a bearish outside day forming. Now, if we look at the 15-minute time frame, also very similar to the euro, no surprise there. But what you'll notice is that we have this BOS that gives us this external low right over here around 1.34. So as of right now, there's no confirmation that we have a change in this 15-minute trend. However, if we were to get the close below here, then just like I mentioned with the euro, what I'm looking for then would be a lower high to develop. Okay. So from here, if we get a close below, I'm looking for, if let's say, for example, an inefficiency forms back here, like we don't mitigate this, if we were to get the change of character down here, then I'm looking for a lower high to develop on a mitigation of that inefficiency for the push lower. I want that better risk reward, guys. I'm not going to short this down here on that change of character. Okay. So that is how I will approach this if we get it. Now, in terms of invalidation, just like with the euro, you can see this trend line here. Although technically this wouldn't be a structure change or shift, this trend line looks significant enough to where if we were to get a close above here, obviously that would start to invalidate the bearish scenario. But so far, guys, this does still look pretty bearish to me. Now, I do want to explain one thing. I mentioned this in recent videos, but the one thing that threw off a lot of traders here recently is they looked at this BOS back here and said, okay, this is my protected high up here. We closed above and this was a change of character, in which case this is a higher low. And while that is technically true internally, what I've mentioned recently is that if you look at this and we just zoom out here, okay, this structure right here, this high and this low, this is internal to this. And the external structure is always going to trump whatever you get internally. So the point there is that because this was a BOS, we closed below this low back here, it meant that this up here is our protected high. So in other words, the pound would basically have to trend all the way up here toward these highs right around 136.50, 136.60 in order to shift this larger structure. Okay. So if you'll also notice from this high, okay, so this high up here, down here to this recent low, if we take our fibs and look at this in terms of premium discount and OTE, what you'll notice is that we did tap in to OTE over here. Okay, so all this is just like the euro, all we did here was tap into OTE within this larger structure. Okay, so I'm still viewing this as bearish, but again, 1.34, this low down here on the 15-minute time frame, I think this is what we have to take out to get a local top, in which case I will be looking for shorts on a mitigation of any inefficiencies up here, okay, to ride this lower down here towards some of these lows. All right. So in terms of targets too on the euro, let's talk about this here quickly before we wrap up. I'm in no hurry to short this yet. I want that confirmation, guys. I want that confidence in a short setup simply because my targets here, as I mentioned recently, are going to be down here around 112.10 and 110.60. Okay. So you've got a lot of real estate to work with here. If we were to get the change of character and that lower high forming, you've got a lot of real estate to work with down here to where I don't feel pressured to get in this because there's just 200 to 300, even, possibly like 350, 380 pips to work with if I'm able to get in this here on the lower time frames. Okay, which I will be sure to announce my entry if I do get it in Discord in real time, as I always do. So that's it for today's video. If you found it helpful, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also check out that free SMC strategy right here on the screen. Click on that link, enter your name and email address. You will be given completely free access. So until next time, trade well. I will talk to you again in tomorrow's video.